Hi everyone. So welcome back to a new video. Today is day 11 of our 30 days of JavaScript challenge. So let's see what is the today's question. Today's question is memoize, which is a medium level question. Okay. So although it is given here that this question is a medium level, once you understand the thing that they have asked us in this question, it is going to be very easy to solve. Okay. So let's move on to the problem description now. In this question we have been given a function fn, okay, and what we need to do is we need to return a memoized version of that function. So here they have told what actually is a memoized function. So according to the question, a memoized function is a function that will not be called twice, okay, with the same inputs. Let's say we have a function, okay. Now if we are passing, let's say once the parameter is 2 comma 2, okay, and the second time also we are passing 2 comma 2. So only once this function will be called, okay, and the next time it will return the value without calling the function from the stored value, okay. So when the first time when we are calling function this fn, so it will, let's say it will calculate sum, right? So what it will return, it will return 4. Now this 4 has to be stored somewhere, so that when once again we are passing the parameter as 2 comma 2, then this function does not have to perform the operations again and it has not to be called again. We will, what we have to do, we will just return the value that is stored for this previous call, okay. So that only they have told here, that a memoized function is a function that will not be called twice with the same inputs, okay. Instead it will return a cached value. Cached value means like whenever we are browsing, right? So some of the data that we have surfed over the internet, it will get stored in our cache so that it will not have to get loaded again, right? So in the same way, when we are calling the function with an input once, we need to store in such a way so that when we are sending the same arguments again, this function will not be called. So and it will just return the same value from the place it was stored, okay, or the data structure where it was stored before, okay. So they have told here that we can assume that there are three possible input function. There can be a sum function, there can be a Fibonacci function, and there can be a factorial function. So this is kind of the interior working of the function fn. We don't have to go much inside of it. It simply tells that this sum function, if the fn is sum function, then it will return the sum of a plus b, and if it is a Fibonacci function, then it will return the sum of, like, if we have sent the number as 2, then it is supposed to send one, like the number or the sum, Fibonacci sum till that number, okay. And for factorial it will return the factorial of that number, like, let's say we have 3 here, so it will return 1 into 2 into 3, that is 6 as the answer. So this is the inside working of fn, okay. We don't have to go and calculate these things. We just need to pass the argument such that this function will return a value, and we will be storing this value somewhere. And we need to take care of this, that whatever data structure we are using, there should not be repetition, okay. What I mean by this is, once, like, let's see with an example, okay. So we have been given an array, okay. These are the arguments that have been passed, okay. So here we are sending 2 comma 2 as arguments. Now this 2 comma 2 will be returned, right? The value whatever is calculated, let's say this function is calculating sum, so the value 4, that is the sum of 2 plus 2, will be returned. Along with that, what we need to do, we need to store this 2 comma 2 argument in some data structure, okay. And this data structure should not have repetition inside this, because this 2 comma 2, when it is called again, then this should act as a dictionary, or this should act like a place where if we see that this value already exists, then we don't have to go and call the function again, right? So what we will do here, we will create a map Okay, and this map, what will happen in this map when the argument is passed, right? Like 2 comma 2 was passed here, so it will be stored here along with the sum of it. And when the function is called again, okay, so it will just return the stored value at this key position. So we will store the argument as key, and the sum or the Fibonacci number or the factorial as the value of that argument. Okay, so now in this question we have also been told that we need to get the call count. Okay, so this is not something that we have to calculate. Okay, because this is going this call count is going inside internally, we don't have to take care of that. We just need to create a cache such that whatever the function is called, the repeated arguments will not be called again. Okay, this the value for the repeated arguments will be returned from this cache. Okay, so let's move on and see the approach for this question. So what I said here was, every time this function is being called, it is getting passed with some argument, right? Like this is an array, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 2. Here we are getting the call count, so it will be empty only. Now the other one, what we have here, 1 comma 2, and again they are taking the call count. So this is an argument, this is an argument, and this is an argument. Okay, so when the function is called for the first time, what we need to do, we need to perform operation on this, and we need to store this in our cache, right? So what we will do here, we will declare an object. Here in JavaScript, object is basically a map, right? It will have a key and a value, and with as the key we will be storing the arguments here, and value will either be sum or Fibonacci number or the factorial, which will be returned by f. Okay, so the first task what we have here, we need to declare an object. So let's name it as map, and this is how we will declare an object. This is done. Now what we have to do, we will be getting the arguments one by one, right? Once it will be the function will be called once, then again, and then again. So there will not be a loop kind of thing here. What we have to do, simply we will add this value, whatever the argument is passed, we have to add it in our map, right? So how it will be added, we will take the map, and the argument will be stored here. And what we have to do, let's say the function is getting returned like this, return function, and the arguments are passed here. Okay, so what we need to do, this fn is in the outer function. Okay, the fn is in outer function, and we will be using closure to get access of this function. So basically we will use function, and this argument will be passed in this function, right? So this argument is getting passed here. Now we have the value, right? And what we need to do in such condition, like for the first time when we are calling, we are passing here 2 comma 2. So now in the map, in our map, let's say we are storing 2 comma 2, right? And with that we are storing the sum of it. Okay, now we have stored it, we need to return this output also. So what we will do, we will return this only, map of arguments. Now this is only applicable for the values which are not available, right? Before this we need to check also, right, that if any value is already existing in the map, we don't have to call this function. This only was asked in the question specifically, that this function should not be called more than once for the same argument value. So before performing this operation, what we will do, we will check here if this argument, whatever is being passed here, exist in map or not. and if it is existing, then what we will do, we will simply return the value from here only. Return map of args. And if it is not existing, then we have to add this value in the map, and we have to return the whatever value has been received from this function as output, we will return it as an answer. So this has gone quite messy. Let's move on to the code editor, and there you will understand the proper structure of this code. So now we will see the code. Okay, so as I had told, first what we will do, we will declare a map, okay, or a cache, whatever we can call it, it is just a variable. So we will declare it here, and now what we will do, we will check for first, what we will check, that if argument is existing in that map or not. In map, if it is already existing, then what we will do, we will simply return the argument in the map. Now if it is not existing, then we will have to add that value in the map, uh, means that value along with the value returned by the function, right, fn function. So what we will do, we will add this argument along with the value returned by fn, and after getting this value, we also need to return the output, right, for that call. So what we will do, we will simply return map of args. Now let's try to run it. Okay, we need to use here spread operator because the values will be passed in the form of array there, and in it will be passed in the form of array if I just send the argument, right. So I need to use spread operator so that the parameters are passed properly. So let's these sample test cases are passed, let's try to submit it now. So this code has been accepted. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments, and in order to continue with me in this coding journey of 30 days of JavaScript, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for watching.